They circled him like prey, but when he didn't flinch, the hunters were the first to step back. The jungle of Kethra 9 didn't sleep. It breathed. Under the cold, silver glow of twin moons, the forest shimmered with bioluminescent spores drifting lazily through humid air. Towering trees stretched into darkness, their trunks thick as skyscrapers. Strange plants pulsed with soft green light, casting moving shadows across the clearing where Private Armin Hale stood alone. He had been dropped there an hour ago. No squad, no weapons drawn, just a simple instruction from command. Survive first contact. Armin stood relaxed, boots firm in the damp soil, hands resting near his belt but not touching his pulse pistol. His breathing was slow, controlled. He could feel them before he saw them. Movement in the trees, soft clicks, low, vibrating sounds that hummed beneath human hearing. 4 figures emerged from the darkness. Tall, thin, blue-black skin reflecting moonlight like polished stone. Their neon green eyes glowed unnaturally bright. Tails swayed behind them with restless tension. VRX younglings, not fully grown, not fully trained, but fast. They began circling him without a word. Armin didn't turn his head. He let them move. Let them measure him. Years of Earth's harshest combat training had burned one lesson into him. Never react first, one step closer. It crouched low, claws digging into the glowing moss. Another darted behind him. The other 2 closed the circle tighter. They were testing. The closest youngling lunged suddenly, stopping inches from his face with a piercing shriek. Armin blinked once. That was all. The alien's claws hovered near his chest plate, waiting for him to flinch. He didn't. Inside, his heart rate remained steady. His instructors on Earth had thrown him into live fire drills, gravity chambers, frozen wastelands. Fear had been trained out of him the hard way. A second youngling snapped its jaws near his ear. Armin smiled faintly. The sound confused them. Predators understood panic. They understood the scent of adrenaline. They did not understand calm. The boldest one stepped closer again and extended a talon, lightly pressing against his armor. Armin looked down at it, then back into its glowing eyes, unimpressed. The circle tightened again, but something had shifted. The energy wasn't dominance anymore. It was curiosity. The jungle grew quieter, as if even the wind wanted to see what would happen next. One of the younglings leapt high into the air and landed directly in front of Armin, roaring loud enough to shake leaves from the branches above. Saliva hissed when it hit the glowing plants. Armin tilted his head slightly. That all? He muttered under his breath. The alien didn't understand the words, but it understood tone. Confidence. The creature slashed suddenly toward his shoulder, not to kill, but to provoke. Armin moved, not violently, not aggressively. He caught the alien's wrist mid-swing, effortlessly. The youngling froze. His grip wasn't crushing. It wasn't cruel. It was unmovable. Slowly, deliberately, he pushed the claw aside and released it. The alien stepped back, just one step, but the others noticed. That single inch of retreat changed everything. Armin took one calm step forward. 2 younglings instinctively shifted back. Now the circle wasn't tight anymore. It was uncertain. One tried again, darting low toward his legs with impressive speed. Armin pivoted smoothly, guiding its momentum past him. The alien stumbled but didn't fall. He could have slammed it into the ground. He didn't. That choice mattered. The 4 exchanged low vibrational sounds, communication, recalculation. They were realizing something important. He wasn't prey. He wasn't afraid. And he wasn't attacking. He was allowing them to test him, which meant he wasn't threatened. Predators understood strength, but controlled strength? That was different. The bold youngling rose slowly and stared into his eyes again. Armin didn't blink. Seconds stretched. Then, one by one, the younglings began stepping backward. Not running, not defeated, yielding. High above the clearing, hidden within massive branches, another presence watched. An adult Virex? Larger, broader. Its eyes burned brighter than the younglings below. It had allowed this test. The human recruit had been intentionally placed here. The adult wanted to see. Would the human panic? Would he fire his weapon? Would he beg? Instead, he had smiled. Below, the bold youngling made one final attempt. A sudden feint followed by a quick slash, aimed at Armin's chest. This time, Armin stepped fully into motion. He sidestepped, caught the creature's arm again, and gently but firmly redirected it downward, pinning it briefly without harming it. Then he leaned forward slightly, close enough for the alien to feel his breath, and he smiled again. The message was undeniable. If he wished to dominate, he could, but he chose not to. The youngling lowered its head. Submission. A subtle one, but clear. The others followed. Above, the adult Virex's tail slowly stopped swaying. Interesting. This human understood something most species did not. True predators do not need to prove themselves. The younglings retreated fully into the shadows now. Only glowing eyes remained visible between trees. Armand finally exhaled slowly. He didn't look victorious. He looked patient. The jungle seemed to breathe again as tension dissolved into the humid air. Armand activated his wrist communicator. "Recruit hail," came the commander's voice. "Status?" "Local wildlife made contact," Armand replied calmly. "And they've decided I'm not prey." A pause. Then a quiet laugh. "Good, extraction in 5. Above, the adult Virex descended silently to the forest floor after the younglings had vanished. It stepped into the clearing, studying the human. Massive, powerful, ancient. Armand looked at it without reaching for his weapon. For a long moment, neither moved. The adult extended its senses, scanning heartbeat. Breathing rhythm, muscle tension, no fear, no aggression, just readiness. The adult understood. This species was different. Humans were not apex because of claws or venom. They were apex because when surrounded by the unknown, they stepped forward. The distant hum of the shuttle echoed through the trees. Wind scattered glowing spores like falling stars. As the craft descended, Armand took one last look at the towering alien. He gave a small nod. Not challenge, not submission, acknowledgement. The adult Virex slowly inclined its head in return. When the shuttle lifted into the sky, the jungle resumed its rhythm. But something had changed. The younglings would speak of this night, of the human who did not flinch, of the prey that stepped forward, and of the lesson carved into their instincts forever. They had tried to corner him. Instead, they had discovered why humans walk into darkness and make the darkness step back.